believe for the most part that has struggled on this map specifically. I'm looking back at their game a while back. Challenger, I might have been Challengers 1, Masters 2, Open Quals or something of the sort, where Rise up 11-1, they end up losing the map 13-11 to version 1. Now, that is obviously a very strong team. Again, another Iceland representative from North America. So that was also a different Rise, though. I believe that was the Rise that still had Showtime on it. And I love Showtime to death, but, you know, putting him on the Sova, obviously it didn't work since Shanks had joined the roster. So now with Derek on the team, it's not the Sova. It is going to be the Sage. So it's a little bit different and maybe unexpected for this player specifically. But I think it does bode well. And starting on the attacking side, I mean, this is probably a little bit of deja vu for these guys. So they really need to show up in this one.
Certainly do. We'll get off to a quiet start. Boombot used towards mid. And I think it's just going to path in over towards ropes. Thing is, they're not expecting a player to be right behind it. Shanks might be able to catch someone off guard with his positioning. But he's kind of playing footsie, and now he's made his presence known. It's good map control. Rise. This is the sort of keys that they need to keep focusing on, and Renegades, it's going to be up to them to try to innovate. Grab wall plus a nade combo doesn't spot anything. And look at this, a full move towards A from Rise.
Roy spots it out, and that's the most important kill here on the pistol round as the gravity well pulls Shanks in. Vulnerable will be the Jet as the Cloudburst goes down to try and cover the movement onto the site. Winston now in a spooky spot. The cam goes through. The Boombot is there, and the kill to follow. Derek picked one up, working closer and closer to the resurrection, and CP2 from across the map was able to find another nice little cross on the side. Unfortunately, having to worry about two players now here in this one, and it is Calypso, and it's Rise to grab the pistol round. And I mean, Rise kind of showing off what they can get done with the pistol. I need you guys in chat to show off your on-screen skills. Guys, make sure you order with your Sheets app, the presenting partner of the Spring Fling Nights May monthly gauntlet. As Sheets run and done, quick as that. Yeah, you know, last game looked close. Then it became a very long game. So what I'm saying basically is, you know, order your snacks now and you'll probably have them while Split is still playing. And quite possibly while we make our way over to Game 3.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, these games have been delivering nothing more, nothing less, and you love to see it. Great Valorant just kind of makes the world go round. And look, sure, maybe we're not Iceland, but this is probably the next best thing. Nice monthlies. They've been consistent, and speaking of consistent, Rise will once again kind of go with a similar strategy to what we just saw in the pistol. Only thing to note this time around is, one, obviously it's going to be rifles versus pistols, but also that bomb is slated towards A, and it's going to need to get picked up and transferred elsewhere. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, Calypso hears two people here. This could be a free kill for him.
And I believe it's two Phantoms and a Vandal again picked up here in round number 2. So those the light shields, you know, they're taking, I guess, the liberty of buying that, hoping that the classics, you know, you don't get double dinked and immediately sat down to make sure that that bonus is quite a bit stronger as it's all up now to Retro, who will have an upgraded weapon if Derek will allow it, and that is not going to be the case. Was that 4 rifles as a whole for Rise? Either way, they pick up round number 2. The anti-eco goes their way.
Was
yeah,
it?
that.
Wait, no, am I tripping?
One player died.
Was it poised with a rifle? I feel like considering he only has a share of half armor, it's got to have been, right? You
know what it was? Yeah, Poise, you're right. Poise had a Phantom, died.
Okay.
It was then picked up by Derek. That's what it was. Scrambling my pea brain over here.
Your peanut brain, after all. It's in the DNA, Tanner. Anyway, Rise. Different approach this time. Still sending the Boombot over towards mid. That's a little bit of a conditioning that you're going to see, I believe, Rise do a number of times until basically it starts punishing them. Roy playing dangerously close to this Viper's poison orb. Going to rely a lot on a crossfire. And you said this was going to be a big key for Renegades in order to find success. Let's see how successful it proves to be. Is this a single kill and then, yeah, trade it out entirely? Not exactly the best of trades, I have to say.
Yeah, it was just the Sheriff to fall there. This time around, it's a rifle down. A Shanks
What is that
will
nade?
fall. The guiding light, unfortunately, a bit of friendly fire onto Winsome. And because of that, the paint shells get a bit of friendly fire over towards Roy. So they traded back in
Beautiful.
utility. But Derek now finds himself in a 1v2, stuck underneath Heaven. And the spike down on the ground. Nice and proper for Roy to spot out. Derek goes up and CP2 sits him down. The rifle goes the way of Renegades. But again, Rise do quite a bit of economic damage.
Yeah, 1-for-1 at the beginning, but I think kind of an overall summary of how that round worked out for Renegades is, despite them trading numbers even, and eventually the execute coming in over towards site, CP2 was nothing short of a beast right there, saving Roy's butt a number of times just because of those nebula smokes going out. It made it more possible. Nice little fly through of Cypher's Cape there, by the way, I want to mention. You know, it's just small little pivots like that are going to make it a lot more possible for Roy to be kind of enabled and stand true on the site. And from there, crossfires were very also true. So, I don't know. I'm loving this approach from Renegades thus far. Flash? Be careful here, Roy. Don't temper the beast.
You see Trailblazer queued up but not sent out. Still a very scary spot. It's kind of like when you see that Sova drone and you hear it right around the corner, you just look to push right on into it. So Roy narrowly escapes death there. Calypso's gained a whole lot of positioning up towards this A-ramps area, looking to creep on up on the lurk. And earlier in the round, Shanks was actually the first to find a kill. Cloudburst to mask the movement up towards the B heaven. Unfortunately, it's a stampede. So they are going to be heard. Renegades are going to have this information. But again, Calypso playing so far over towards that A side could be the thorn in the side as Randy Savage, only good for one, trying to hold down the B site all by their lonesome. Up close and personal with the guiding light. Roy pushes out, finds one, but traded back almost immediately. And the back and forth ensues. The resurrection comes through. We find ourselves in a 4v2.
Not done yet. Renegades, I still think, could be potent on this round. And yeah, it's going to be because of players like Winsome. Initial frag behind the boombot is massive for them. Rotate has started coming through B main, though, Tanner. And that's going to be very much a factor. Because if they peek this together, the two players towards B main and behind pillar, that should just be a freebie kill for them. Poised, however, is a bit late to the draw here. And it has only 4 bullets, so he needs to be conservative with its usage. Poised, able to find the first frag here, and it's down to Retro, 1-on-2. That bomb is starting to take a decent amount now, and I think Retro realizes that it's almost a done deal. Even if he did find that frag, it'll still probably be won by Rise at the end of the day. But it's important to note once again, Tanner, think about, it's the phrase of the day, all the economic damage that was done.
Yeah.
That was a 4v2 that nearly swung the other way.
Yep, and an ultimate
After a
use.
res.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
God. That is wild.
It does still put Rise in a decent spot, right? They pick up the round. They still have 4 rifles coming into this one. It is going to be poised on the light shields with the Vandal. Shanks, they have the daggers ready, as well as a Spectre as a secondary and a Classic as a tertiary. And I think this is a good round to
Push
do
on the
that, right?
Calypso.
It's, oh my goodness, Calypso. Again, finds another kill on the lurk. Roy is there to punish, and then that was the only Sheriff bot up. So now taken down over towards the A site. The Classics only going to be good for 1 up towards B heaven. It is down to the last 2, and the ultimate's available. Viper's Pit for Renegades. Showstopper and From the Shadows available for Rise, should they choose to use them.
Surely
But
not.
I would imagine, yeah, imagine it's just the gunfights from here on out. Eric picks up 1. Retro, now the last standing. Did buy light shields in the round and has upgraded to a Vandal. Again, a 1v3. You get a 1v4 with the clock ticking down. We hope for too much.
I mean, he could actually find one here. Keyword there was should, or could rather. That doesn't mean he should, right? So, quick elimination. Not going to be able to save that rifle into the next round, but it only matters so much. You're still going to be seeing a buy come into the hands of the Renegades after the fact. And interesting of note, an operator has been bought up from CP2, and I really think it's interesting how, at least in recent history, so far for just this tournament, we've been seeing a lot of operators, right? But not actually bought a ton by Jets. We haven't seen a ton of Jet, but we're still seeing a number of operators. And when the two kind of go hand in hand, when I think operator, I think of Jet. It's interesting seeing players like CP2 pick it up and deliver with it.
Yeah, the Mummy special there, picking it up on the Astra. That Viper's pit going to be used towards mid, which Rise have spent a whole lot of time in the last 5 rounds, and now looking to make it 6. Unfortunately, not going to be able to do so. So it should just be a fairly direct sight hit, unless Shanks gets a little wild. Instead of going into it, is going to fake going up top. So using an updraft, using a tailwind just to keep Retro in the area while the rest of the squad looks to push up through B main.
Oh, but CP2's trained on the angle, and he's actually re-peeking, hungry for more. They're just practically walking into his crosshairs at this point. And Retro, you're telling me that you're a big fan of the buddy system. That right there is a beautiful, shining example of it. As they basically had each other's backs from moment number 1 up until the very end of the round. Renegades will post a flawless. And I think that's pretty sick to see because really, it was a big round for Rise here, a swing round if you would, because now their eco is going to be definitely more fractured, and I'm actually a little bit confused if they're actually going to choose to force this. I believe so, because Shanks does have the Blade Storm, and I believe he dropped a rifle over to Derek, so they're still keeping their heads high for this one. They think they can actually still win this one out behind their ultimates.
Get out of my way.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness, Retro trying to find the setup, but Shanks won't allow it. The knives
is
up top
gamble.
with the updraft and the kill to come on through. What a play there. And that's what you like to see. That's what you need to see from Shanks, especially in this round that you just harped on, right? Their economy is in a really bad spot. It's a round they need to win, and that's the best way to get it started, Ito.
That it's so cool to see Shanks going for that. He's done that a number of times, going for like those risky, I don't want to say puggy style, but like, you know, he did the double updraft over Haven from spawn as well to try to find frags. Renegades totally crushing it right now after the fact. Calypso being able to find the only other frag. Poise getting involved, and it's just actually kills across both B and mid, and it's unstoppable, this hold from Renegades right now. They found the spike.
One enemy remaining.
Unfortunately for CP2, he was spotted out by Calypso, only had the ultimate available. Now Roy bringing up the rear to play out towards B Heaven. Spike plant to be
30
faked
seconds
once
left.
by Calypso. Could be planted in that safe position, and Roy not really biting on it. Has the guiding lights available. Should he choose to use them? Now the plant to come on through.
Wow.
There's the swing. 3rd time's a charm, and Roy will find the kill, find the round. Renegades now cut the deficit to 1. And we cast our curse, Namito. We cast our curse Rise a little bit.
Just a tiny bit, but I don't know. From the way that round was structured, I feel like Renegades' holds have been really solid thus far, where I didn't believe, man. Despite Shanks getting it off to a great start with that double updraft into the knife kill, or the Blade Storm kill, not a knife kill. That'd be pretty sick, though. It's just, I feel like Renegades always have these really strong retaliations when they need to. I don't know. It's just hard to be a full believer just yet, but Rise, again, they still have beliefs here. A little bit of an investment. They're keeping their heads high, right? But they're also going to be realistic with it and have enough money for this next round in case this doesn't work out.
Shanks with the aggro dash, the tailwind onto
He's
into
CT spawn, I think.
the Heaven.
Look at
Yeah,
this.
deep into the spawn. Gonna be able to catch the rotates. Nice showstopper. Gonna find their own
There it
trade
is.
kills there. Shanks picking up one on to win some. Neptune picks one up with the
Wow.
Boombot, and Roy. Now the last one standing, but full HP. The Seekers, the guiding light, and the spike yet to be planted. Poised backs away up towards B Heaven. One nice and close. The kill to
Boy.
come on through, but a beautiful trade, and what a round to win. Rise with the yard sale buy, pick up another and increase their lead to 2.
I mean, it's such a yard sale buy that I was on the verge of being a thrifty. I'm
Yeah.
surprised it didn't actually count. The biggest investment that I at least spotted at the beginning there was the judge in from Shanks. And as you saw on the radar right there, he was actually pushed up close to defender spawn. That is, I mean, learning in motion right there from Rise. I was not sold in the slightest, but a quick burst up and really taking advantage of every single inch of space that they could. Shanks, again, really kind of enabled for that to happen. And the showstopper and no do part as well, incredibly important. Early dink out, but it doesn't lead to the kill. I heard your gasp of fear, Tanner, but it's not a kill just yet. That might come later, though.
But what a sick angle for Derek, not even to peek, just start wall banging and get so much value out of it. It can be healed up thanks to Roy playing this Sky, but that absolutely stings, especially when CP2 has been so crucial with the operator, been absolutely huge thus far. And because of that, he needed to get healed, and he had to rotate all the way over to Roy to do so. So now the op's towards A, the play is over towards B, and Shank's gonna find an early kill, probably by that rotation inside of Vents. No, it's gonna be pretty well known that it is a B hit for this Rise squad, but man, that is a very rough way to not only start the round, but to pull the rotation.
Lockdown expended as well, so it's still, we're kind of in the thick of this one here, Tanner. Win condition, I feel like for Renegades at this point is going to be making sure that Roy is going to have a very confident guiding light to come through, and there it is. It flashes a ton of people actually sitting right behind the wall. Cosmic Divide uses response. Retro is just sticking to Spike. He gets taken down eventually. A flurry of kills. Left, right, and center, but Rise should be able to take this at the very end. They're holding on for dear life here, and I'm pretty sure CP2, yeah, he's just going to hold on to this operator. Again, it's a flurry of kills, but they're not keeping themselves like fully hedged on winning this round, despite investing the Cosmic Divide in a decent amount of utility and guns otherwise.
Yeah, that is just such a tough round. Again, it all starts with CP2 getting dinked through the wall and having to rotate all the way to the A side to get healed up by Roy. Had that not happened, obviously the operator is still there on B, is still able to pop off like we've seen CP2 do on that side as well. So that absolutely stings. So heads up play by Derek, who, I mean, very impressive here on Split. Didn't necessarily have, you know, the most pop-off performance, was at the bottom of the leaderboard in terms of kills for his squad, but was doing his job in utility. Now that they come to Split, he's starting to be the catalyst to make this a strong Rise team on a map that they have, you know, struggled with a bit as they head right back in to mid as a judge up close and personal for Winsome, but not close enough. He's aiming down at the shins of Shanks, but he's going to fall, poised right there to back him up. There's the wall to block the rotates. And it's looking like another quick hit, not only to B, but another round win for Rise.
Most certainly should be as well. Great pre-aim on that player located in the mailroom. Very well aware of the fact that, hey, you know, a judge cheese is so possible at this point. Even if one isn't holding that consistent angle, we'll get to that later. This round has actually become a little bit more possible. Roy has that dingo available, that trailblazer. If he spots Derek here over towards Rafters, that might be a kill. Don't call it foregone just yet, Tanner.
You know, sometimes that's how it goes. The caster curse into a caster blessing, as there it is. There's a kill up towards the Raptors. A paranoia to try and buy some time. There's the Seekers, and it's all up to Poised. He's stuck in the back of the site, but he just has to buy time. That's all he has to do, and he's doing it so darn well. The weapon swap on over. The classic picked up, and Poised with 3 to clutch the round.
A beautiful 1v2 at the end of the day as well. Absolutely massive to piece it together for Renegades or for Rise, excuse me. I was so baffled. It was looking so good for Renegades. It's hard not to believe that they didn't win it. It was a 3v2 and dragged, kicking and screaming to actually make it a dub of their own. It means so much for Rise that they got that one too. They've broken the eco and certainly broken the morale of Renegades as well, dancing behind that smoke incredibly well. And to kind of back again, harp on your point of how Derek joining the squad was really, really important for Rise. I think Poised was another one, right? Derek and Poised were very, very much kind of rising talents in the tier 2 scene and kind of like the hot free agents. So seeing them finally kind of get the chance that they deserve here on the Rise squad is beautiful to see so far. They've taken the first map and they've already taken a pretty daunting lead in this second one, as well as a player count advantage when it's 3-7. Never mind, Castle's Curse there too, no more player advantage, but it's still a hit over towards B. They've at least kept these rotations a little bit in disarray from the Renegade side.
Keeping an eye on that showstopper available for Winsome. Try and find his way onto the site. No, it's just going to be the rifles that start to get it done as Derek the last one standing. You're in a 1v4. Unfortunately, not going to find anything on the way out, trying to make his way towards B main as Renegades pick up another round. They only lose one, and that was it was a tough one to lose as Calypso picking up Roy early in the round over towards that A site. But 7-4 is where we find ourselves with one round to go in the half. Now, again, this is where things get scary for Rise because their attacking side usually is pretty good. It's the defense that seems to be a bit lackluster. And with the Sage, with Derek on the squad, I'm hoping it can be enough. Because again, this is a team, no bias coming into this one, obviously. I expected Renegades to do well, but Rise is a team, to me, I noted it before the tournament even started, they have something to prove, and this would be the best way to do it. To put the pin in it right here, 2-0 on split, would be absolutely huge. As CP2 trades back a bit of damage, not going to take any of his own this time around, so giving Derek a bit of taste of his own medicine. Shanks looking to go make some plays out towards A again, up towards Vents. It's Calypso instead on the lurk, open up so much space, but Roy is there, spins back around, nice little 180 to pick up the jet and the rotate. 4 players all rotated over from Rise towards the A site.
And there's going to be immediately executing behind it, Tanner. Unfortunately, Neptune channels his inner Sub-Rosa and is unable to actually thread the needle on that ultimate. No matter though, still Spike is planted. Neptune has the information on at least one player located in heaven. The second one going to be a question mark, but as long as he can hold true over towards ramp, he can effectively deny that as an opportunity for the retake. However, Roy is still very much a factor that they have to be aware of. Great pop flash through the smoke, and onto the Spike Roy will go. Whether anyone can stop it, nobody knows. The resurrection as well going to be used. Derek, we're talking just about how hot of a free agent he was, and my god, he just might have made this round possible from Rise. The double grab wall into the stun combo. Calypso tries to hold true. 8 rounds would be massive from Rise. As CP2, it's already stuck halfway. He tries to hit the op shot, no time on the clock, and Calypso will find the finishing blow. It comes down to the wire, Tanner, and that is just how this series has been thus far, down to the wire.
That is, it's actually insane. Again, Derek popping off there, not only with the kill at the end, but getting that resurrection for Calypso, the resurrected player, to then clutch the round. And it's playing the clock so perfectly. Renegades in positions to win, but Rise, they use all of the tools available to them, and then they play for the win condition. They don't ego peak. They don't swing the operator there at the end. They make CP. This is one of the biggest things coming from traditional sports. One of the biggest phrases that I like to use here is make them make a play, right? If you just give it to them for free, then CP2, he hits that shot. But if you force CP2 to make a play, there is more room for error instead of you just rolling over and giving it to him for free. So I absolutely love that play by Calypso and by Rise as a whole. 8-4 we go. But again, I've been very, very, I guess, I don't know, maybe a bit too thick with the hate on this defensive side. But this is where I think Rise really need to show up.
Ones were borrowing phrases from traditional sports. How about squeaky bum time right there? Just saw 2 for 2 immediately. And look, squeaky bum time is basically when the game is at its climax, when things are getting crazy. And I didn't think it'd happen on a pistol like this, but it has been seriously Roy's round thus far, as he's finally taken out of the picture after 3 final blows. We see now them forced to make a play. Now, to borrow your phrase as well, Renegades, they're going to be the ones looking to innovate here. Sure, they get the spike down, but they need to take some forward positions in order to take out these quick onset attackers, or these quick onset defenders, excuse me. Now pivoting over to the attack. Randy Savage holds true, but both phrases of what we're talking about just came true there. They needed to make a play, that side of Renegades, and they delivered by going forward with their positions. Retro, I think, was huge there, finding just that one kill and also spotting the information on the second.
Man, this series from map 1 to map 2 has just delivered so much. The emotional tug of war that we've had, the back and forth, and the feeling of catharsis that we've been given from round to round. Absolutely insane. That is, this is when people say who do you like to watch or who are your favorite teams, this is what I like to watch. I like to watch Valorant when it's played just like this. Now, obviously, with the pistol round going the way of Renegades, I don't know how much you can expect off the back of a Paranoia, though. A nice little 3K with the classic, and that's what you can expect. Rise go huge. They rise to the occasion, but they still have to close it out. 3 weapon upgrades and so much damage onto CP2. How do they do it, Ito?
It's the magic of the grab wall, the beautiful Paranoia out. We saw that from the third person. That tells the whole story. Derek, sure, Hughes is kind of the bearer of bad news right there, fighting 3, but don't get it twisted. That was a team effort from start to finish, and that's how it's going to end as well. A firing range, a method of execution. And talk about a sick round from Rise. They get it done with a pistol and the power of Paranoia.
Wow.
Oh, that is beautiful. Shoutouts to Mel for that one. I know you're going to put this in your observing reel, but look at that Paranoia into the swing. Again, I understand. I'm well aware of the fact that it's Derek finding all of those kills, but it could have gone to literally anybody. That is... Dude, you were even just talking about why you love watching these teams.
Yeah.
That right there gave you a reason to love them even more.
And it doesn't stop. It does put Renegades here on an eco buy of their own. And Rise should be able to pick up the round, right, in the anti-eco. But again, anything is possible. What I will say is I think the Viper, it's a bit harder to get value in this one outside of it just being a smoke. Boys gonna pick up the first and taking a whole lot of utility off the board in Roy. Now CP2 to fall, and things are looking pretty dire. It is that buddy system. Nice little crossfire. It's all up to win some, to try and do something incredibly heroic. It's going to take a whole lot to even hurt the economy, and Shanks to make sure that is not the case. A flawless round for Rise in response to them winning the anti-eco. They pushed to double digits, Ito, and I would imagine momentum is just full force. This hype train for Rise it feels unstoppable at this point.
And how could it not, right? You just got off the back of one of the craziest rounds of play thus far where you won on full classics. It's not even like we had some crazy 1Ds or 1-shares. I don't know exactly what they're called in this game.
Right.
But, you know, that was just beautiful team play. And then, of course, a flawless. That was, I'd say, maybe a little less impressive, but it's good team play, good chemistry. And, again, hard work has been really paying off for Rise so far. You love to see it, but you don't love to see that. Shanks, unfortunately, I believe, kind of blows his opportunity to get out scot-free, and he goes down for the count. That's an operator out of the picture as well, mind you, Tanner. Big investment. That's 5,000 credits out.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Lose the op like that. I feel like Shank's been a little wonky with the dashes, more often than not putting himself in a tough position. Now the Seeker is going to be used. And yeah, the Shanks classic there. Operator also to be picked up should Renegades choose to use it. CP2 fairly hot with that one in their hands. Quick rotation over towards Vent, towards the A side. Calypso picks up one, Poise finds one as well. The Paranoia to buy some space, buy some time. With 9 rounds in the magazine, can Poise get anything else done? Yes, he can. He picks up 2 more, and the Sheriff to close it out.
How many heroic rounds are there going to be from Poise? The Paranoia before, the 4K in this one, and the bonus goes the way of Rise. Just when things were looking awfully terrifying, Shanks goes down first thing in the round, and yet they still bounce back strong. And this one, it's all solo. Great Noia at like this third kill, this third avenue from Poise. But I cannot believe they weren't expecting a player watching from the ropes push. That kind of feels like something for sure you have to be ready for, but Renegades maybe didn't exactly dot their I's, cross their T's. Shanks pissed after dying to that last round. Go ahead, completely change up his stance. It's over towards A long right now, and oh my god, why are you fighting this? You are Madman, Shanks, but he might just have a pick of the litter here. As soon as that Viper orb goes down, get ready to see hell be unleashed. 3 kills! And Shanks has certainly done his part in the round. Operator picked up, and my god, Rise, they're firing off on all cylinders.
on all cylinders here, and they are, you know, still a few rounds away from the end, but have absolutely made me a believer in what they can get done as a squad. As the operator picked up in the hands of Winsome, starting to get a whole lot of work done, and the rotate now through ropes. That Spike to follow up. Now 1v2 over towards the B side is where Neptune will find himself. Pushing on over, Boombot gonna spot him out. Not gonna find any damage just yet, but that is half the battle right there.
One enemy remaining.
Shots on target. Spike to be planted. Now a 1v1. Roy needs to come up clutch, but it's Neptune instead. Rise push to map point.
The plot armor is just too thick on this team, Rise, and apparently from that camera POV, that's not the only thing that is way too thick. Rise move up to 12. It's tournament point for them, and what better of a way than a clutch from Neptune to close that one out. Beautiful round again from Shanks. I really need to say that much at the very least. He certainly did his part. It's just a team effort. It really feels like they're just all activated. You said you had incredibly high hope for Rise. I did as well. But are they delivering to your expectations, or are they going beyond? They're only one round away from making this a 2-0 series and closing our day out early, Tanner.
I mean, in the wise words of a man named Goku, this is what it is to go further beyond. Rise, absolutely Super Saiyan here. Super Saiyan 3 on this Renegade squad. Only picking up the pistol round, and since then it's been the entirety of the Rise show and everybody piecing together. Now it's not done yet. CP2 finds the first kill. Derek trades it back and has the resurrection again. The Sage in the right place at the right time. 5 members still alive for Rise. A couple ultimates available across the board. But this is it for Renegades. They have to not only do it here, but 6 more times thereafter to take us to OT.
It just doesn't really feel impossible when I think about it as well. Renegades are just such a crazy staple of this scene. They have the experience. I just don't even feel like it's over yet, especially with some of the tools they have to work with. What I'm expecting here is a satchel through from Winsome behind the lockdown. If they can take sight, they can play it from there. Sure, they're going to blow their ults for it, but they'll stay alive. There's a lockdown first thing. Now, let's see if Winsome is going to do his part. Jump peeking. Waiting for the time, full blind out. But where is the execution?
Oh my. It's so much thrown at Derek, and he's still able to find a kill. Kind of down to the last 3. He finally will fall. And we find ourselves in a 2v3. 13 seconds on the clock. The showstopper is there. And what a way to close it out. 2-0 fashion. Rise are your sprint.